Hello everyone, myself Piyush Kumar. Now this is the month of July and this is the best time to shape your preparation for 2023 UPSC CSE examination. Ideally speaking, you start preparation for the next examination from somewhere around May or June. Now from here to till the month of December or max to max January is the best period when you consolidate your preparation in terms of writing, in terms of revising. So if you have really completed your preparation and now you really want to check that whether I am on a right track or not, so this is the period which should be used, this period should be used for answer writing as well as revision also. So this is the main reason because of what we have just come up with this revision cum answer writing program on history optional. Optional always plays very important role in your selection. Optional is the area where you can really score somewhere around 290, 300 or 310. So out of the total marks that you have been getting in the UPSC CSE mains examination, the majority of marks you have been getting for optional, and that's why optional is something which cannot be ignored at all, and the optional should be always prepared, optional should be always prepared in such a way that by the month of December you have done most of the practices of answer writing, as well as revision also should be consolidated, because if you are done with your writing and revision by the month of January, in that case you are feeling bit confident when you are appearing in the examination. In the present times, what happens, like since you are not getting much time, between pre and mains examination, and this is the time when you should go for maximum revision. Sometimes people do plan to go for writing, but because of the time crisis, ultimately they are not able to do it. That's the reason because of what, as far as this revision and answer writing is concerned, that should be done right away only, right? So that's just keeping in mind all these limitations and the circumstances, we have just decided to come up with this particular program called as revision cum answer writing on history optional. And here I'll be just going to discuss about some key features of this program. At the same time, we are going to discuss how we are going to do it, because that's also very important. So as I have already told you that this particular program actually, is looking for a good revision and at the same time good answer writing also, because both the things should be developed. Apart from this particular program is also looking for some sort of content updation, because if you are not ready with the updated content, in that case it's going to be a bit tough for you. So we have been trying to somehow fulfill or cater all your requirements through this program. That's why we have just come up with this plan. So let me discuss about the key features of this particular program. So when it comes to key features of this particular program, so one by one we'll be seeing. So first of all, this particular test series or revision cum answer writing does include total 20 tests, right? 20 tests. That includes further 16 sectional tests and 4 mock tests. Now what exactly this? Like in every segment we are having, we have just divided the syllabus into some smaller groups or some subgroups. Let's say if it is about ancient, this is part A, paper 1. This is part A, paper 1. Now the ancient syllabus further has been further divided into 3 subsectional groups. So there will be 3 subsectional tests, right? Then there will be 1 sectional test. 1 sectional test. So as there are 12 topics in ancient India or part A, so we have just divided the syllabus into 3 parts, and on 4 or 5 topics we'll be conducting 1 test. The test will include around 7 to 10 questions of 150 marks, including map, and then this is how we'll just cover up the syllabus. Then we'll go for 1 sectional test also, the sectional test which is covering the whole ancient India for the last revision. Now, as I have told you that this is how we have divided the syllabus, and then further like it will be followed by 4 mock tests between pre and mains examination. As I told you that between pre and mains you are getting lesser time, but a final practice is very much required. This is the reason because of what we have kept these 4 mock tests between pre and mains. At the end moment at least you are writing some tests to get the confidence or to gain the confidence. So this is how the number of tests have been decided. Now every every sectional test will be will be followed by pre-class, and that pre-class will be conducted just 1 day before the test. Now this pre-class is really very important because we are going to include several important content and then answer writing, the discussion on answer writing in this pre-class. How exactly we are going to do the pre-class, that also I will discuss further. Now some other features: discussion will be uploaded after the conduct of the test. The model answer of every test will be provided to you after the test in the evening. The additional materials are also provided as per the course requirement. Now what is this additional material? Basically what happens, being an aspirant of UPSC, sometimes you are facing difficulty with the subject that you do not know that what is the right content, from where exactly this right content can be extracted, or what is the right document to be accessed on. So basically sometimes you are failing in getting the right material, and if you are really facing difficulty and you feel that like I am not able to get the right material, in that case we will also provide you that material which is helping you to some extent, right? So additional material is also there. Answer sheets will be evaluated within 7 days. So it will be done as soon as possible, right? But maximum 7 days, within like 7 days, the evaluated answer script will be provided to you, and like the one-to-one discussion will take place on that, right? Now what is this one-to-one? I'll come on that also. Fine. These tests are designed as per the latest UPSC exam pattern. Now this is also very important that the questions that you have been attempting, the questions are really as per the UPSC pattern or not. Most of the times I have seen that the questions are not framed in the UPSC pattern. There are very simple kind of questions are being asked, and these questions are not really innovative, and that's why we focus a lot on making the questions in such a way that can really get you the impression of UPSC ki, okay, this is how UPSC framed the question, and that really enables you to go for a or to gain confidence while writing the answers. Framed to cater the demand of the history optional holistically. Now this test series has been designed in such a way which is really fulfilling all your need of this as far as this optional is concerned. It will create a nudge for students to bolster their thought process and reflect in the answer writing. That's a very important thing, because what happens, I won't say all the questions, but there are a couple of questions coming in such a way that in the examination hall you face difficulty that in what way the free answer should be framed. Practically speaking, it's quite possible that that you haven't directly gone through, or you haven't studied any relevant content directly on that. But whatever the limited content you do have, you have to frame your answer from that only, and that's why the brainstorming is very important. So that is a kind of skill that you have to learn through this answer writing, through the practice of answer writing, and that's why we design the questions in this way that you are really compelled to think, you are really compelled to go for the brainstorming. So this particular course actually tries to do that also, right? One-to-one discussion at the Karol Bagh Center, right? So now this is also very important. Normally what happens after the evaluation of the test, the one-to-one discussion is very important, because students are sometimes facing difficulty on the evaluated script key, whether it is correct or not, is this the, or how to improve that part, what are the limitations highlighted on your evaluated answer script. So there you need to understand what are the limitations, what are the problems, how to overcome it, and for that reason only, like we have just emphasized, in fact this is the most important feature of this particular program, that we emphasize a lot on one-to-one discussion. So whatever the problems you do have related to content, related to answer writing, related to the process of thinking about the answer or framing the answers, we are going to sort it out with this one-to-one discussion, and that's why I just told you that this is one of the most important feature of it. The copy correction will be strictly done by the faculty or by me only. This prepare you for 300 marks, which should be an ideal target for you in the optional examination. If you're targeting 300 and if you are landing somewhere nearby this particular score, in that case your job is done. Let's say if you are scoring 300 plus minus 20, in that case your performance is your performance is good enough to make you or to get you through. That's the reason because of what we have designed the program in this way, that ultimately it is helping you to cross that particular limit, right? Now let's move to the another important feature of this particular program, and that's about the pre-classes. So when it comes to pre-classes, the pre-classes has been designed in a very different way. Look, at the end moment you do not require this much of content. At the end moment you actually require what are the areas which are lacking, in what are the if there is something very important content that you are missing. And in fact, most importantly, I must say that whether you know that how to think of this particular question, how to frame the answers, like whether you are knowing about these kind of things or not. So keeping in mind these things, we have designed this pre-class in such a way which is helping you in many directions. So what we have done, we have just tried to identify the important areas, and in fact you are also quite capable of doing it, but I have also done it for you. So basically this pre-classes, let's say with one example we'll try to understand that how we are going to conduct these pre-classes. So let's say like the topic is Indus Valley Civilization. Let's say this topic is Indus Valley Civilization. So we are just going to deconstruct this topic, but we are not going to include everything. We have to just identify the areas from where the probable questions could be framed. So by keeping in mind the previous year questions, right, previous year questions, and then like some other important areas from where the questions could be framed, we have just deconstructed this particular topic into many subtopics, such as when it comes to IBC, origin is one important part. Now in origin, what is going to be included? Basically the theory of indigenous origin or the theory of foreign migration, right? This is one topic. Then political structure, what kind of political structure was there in IBC? From here the possibility of question is there. Then religious pattern is one part from where the question could be framed. Trade is a very important area. In fact, earlier also they have asked question on this. Then the urban features. Now the urban features should not be understood in this way, just town planning, because whenever you are asking somebody about IBC, that the only thing that they do highlight, that's about the town planning and all such kind of thing, whether this is not the right way of thinking about urbanization, right? Then it comes to economy. So okay, apart from trade and commerce, some other parts like manufacturing or the craft activities. Then we can talk about the agriculture or agricultural surplus. These are the other areas which are important areas, right? And that's how we are just going to do it, right? There are certain topics which are missing here, but I'm just trying to tell you that in what way we have deconstructed the topics, and then we are going to understand the things on them only. Now how we are going to do it? Let's say if it comes to let's say one topic, you are talking about origin, the origin of IBC. We are discussing about the origin of Indus Valley Civilization. Now when this particular topic is there, most of the people must be knowing about origin. Okay, there are two different kind of debates, but how to make your answer more specific, how to take lead from others or edge from others, that's the most important thing. And until and unless you are having a very good understanding, right? Until and unless you are having a very good understanding of the subject or let's say the topic, you won't be able to present it in a better way. So as you do know that this is a competitive examination, and in the competitive examination you have to always present your things in a better way. So everything should be better. The content should be better. The packaging should be better. And if you have, if you have really done that in a good manner, in that case, of course, you can expect better marks than other. Now, when let's say if people are talking about origin, a normal student is talking about origin. So he or she will think only in terms of there are certain ideas, that's it. But this can be presented in a different way also. So first of all, like this is one thing that I'm going to do, that as per the topic, we are going to learn about some introductions, right? So if any question is coming from IVC, in what way we are supposed to write introduction? And let me tell you that if you are having a clarity of the introduction, okay, this is how I need to frame the introduction, in that case you won't be trapped, you won't be stuck on that moment ki how to start the answer. If you are knowing the basics of this, in that case you will be able to understand it in a pretty careful manner, right? So basically what we are going to do, like with every topic we are going to discuss about the introduction, that how to start the answer or how to write the introduction related to the questions related to the questions which are coming from Indus Valley Civilization. So first of all, we'll emphasize on this part. Then let's say when it comes to the content part. Now in content part also you have to understand certain things. Like it's not only about putting or it's not only about writing the content which is purely related to that. Such as when it comes to IVC, the origin of IVC, I must tell you the origin of IVC is not only historical but is a political debate also. So this is a very important part of the aspect of IVC. But most of you are not aware of this particular fact. So if you really want to take edge on others, in that case you have to include these kind of things in your answer. It is not only a historical but also a political debate. So this idea, just by mention of this idea, can leave this impression over the evaluator ki okay, like this person does have a very good idea of this particular topic, and that's how he or she has started the answer in this particular way, right? Okay, so we have first of all this basics should be very clear. So we will discuss ki okay, this is this kind of debate, or here only content is required, or what in what way you are supposed to present the content. Then it comes to the content part. So the content part is these two. The theory of indigenous origin, or let's say we have to start from the theory of the migration. So this is one theory. Now only by writing the theory of migration you have conveyed the content, but since you do require some, let's say some scholars also, so we are just going to briefly discuss ki okay, let's say this is the migration theory, what are the scholars you are going to discuss, such as Mackay is there, Gordon is there, okay, Asen Kramer is there, Brigid is there, Olchen is there. So okay, these are the people, those who have been talking about the migration theory. They are talking about the origin of Indus Valley Civilization did take place with respect to the migration. That's how this is one set of argument. And then it comes to the indigenous origin. So there are certain people such as Amlan Ghosh, Romela Thapar, right, then M.R. Mughal, Fair Service. These people are not believing in this migration theory, and they do talk about this indigenous theory, and who are the scholars, those who have been supporting this idea. So this is how we are just going to discuss, and of course the idea of Romila Thapar can be used for concluding this answer. That's a very important statement that she has given, that without having all those features or the circumstances, it is impossible to go for an urbanized civilization. Got my point? And then finally conclusion, in what way we should conclude the answer. So basically if you are knowing the broader framework of the introduction and conclusion of IVC, more or less every question can be started from those ideas and can concluded from these ideas. So this is how we are just going to have this pre-class, and this pre-class is definitely going to actually get you the content and the ideas, right? The content or the concept or the ideas which are very much required, and that you do not read directly in the books. And this is one of the one of the major limitations of the history student, because once they have read just one book, so they try to think always in the same way, the way they have read in the book. But it can be it can be actually it can be framed, or it can be understood, or it can be gleaned with another way also, and that is getting you that is somehow enabling you to present the answer in a holistic way. So this is what this particular pre-class is targeting for, and that's how we are just going to conduct this particular test series, right? So I am quite sure that this particular test series or the revision cum answer writing program is going to be very helpful for you, because we have designed it in this way which is catering all your requirements. So thank you very much. Thank you.